Abraham walks into a Hittite town hall asking strangers for a place to bury his wife. They don't just hand him dirt, they crown him Prince of God. Ephraim throws in the whole field as well. Abraham insists on paying 400 shekels anyways because otter won't fit in a freebie. Welcome to the Gravel Gospel. I'm Bionic Leg. So initially, I was gonna have this story be two parts. I was gonna have this particular one, so we're in Genesis chapter 23, and so we were gonna have the burial of Sarah, and then Isaac meeting Rebecca. But as I was working on this, I was like, you know what, I wanna do this as its own because I think it's a really neat. So at this point, Sarah, she died when she was 127. And so scripture tells us where she died was Kirith. These names, I'm going to butcher these, so I try my best. Kirith Araba. So it's in Canaan. So that's where they're living at the time. And Abraham, he spends his time in mourning. And, once he gets everything together, he goes in front of the Hittites to their general assembly. And I think it's really neat how this whole thing goes down. So he goes to the General Assembly and he tells them, he's like, you know what? I know I'm an outsider. I'm not part of you guys, but could somebody sell me a burial plot so that I could bury my wife with some dignity? And it's fair. Abraham's got land, but the area that he wanted to bury her in, it was on the Hittite territory. So he goes to them in their meeting. Like, hey, this is what I would like to do, blah, blah, blah. And just it gets really neat because the Hittites, they knew who Abraham was. He had been living there for who knows how long. He had established himself to the extent that they knew he followed God and that he was an honorable man. And the way they respond is really cool. They told him, they're like, you're not just some random outsider. You're Prince of God. And they said, they're like, they offered their best burial sites. They said, hey, bury your wife in our best burial sites. Nobody's going to refuse you. This is what we want to do. And it had to have been a massive load off of his shoulders. Because he knew what he wanted to do, but I'm sure because he knew them because he probably traded with them, but he was cautious. And so he bows out of respect. He's like, you know what, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And so he continues that, hey, if you're serious about helping me, could somebody intercede for me with Ephron, son of Zor? And he said, there's a cave at the end of his land that I would like to bury my wife in. I'll pay full price for this with you as my witnesses. Could somebody go on my behalf? And I think it's neat for two reasons. Abraham, he could have just said, thank you, appreciate it, picked a spot, and then moved on. But no, treating them with respect, asked if somebody could go on his behalf because he's not part of that community. Requesting that very specific place. Other reason I think it's neat is he offered the full price for that cave, which shows he's a man of integrity and he's not trying to haggle down or do anything. He's like, no, here, let me do this. And it's hilarious because Ephron, the guy that he's talking about, he's in the meeting when Abraham brings this up. And Ephron chimes in. He says, the way the New American Standard Bible cracks me up, the way that it words it, is that in verse 11, I'm quoting this, no, my Lord, listen to me. I give you the field and I give you the cave that it's in the presence of the sons of my people. I give it to you. Bury your dead. And I think it's great because not only, so he's like, here, let me give you this land. Oh, and here's this cave that's on the land. Let me give you both. It's really neat. Just that again that Abraham he had built up this reputation, and the people. It sounds like from reading this, the people had nothing but respect for the guy and liked him so much so they're, hey, let us honor you by doing this. And Abraham argued with him, not in a bad way, but Abraham wants to pay him. And he told him, he says, please allow me. I want to pay the price for the land. Take my money so that I can go ahead and bury my wife. And I just when I was reading this, when I was getting ready for this video, I just had in my head the meme of dude from Futurama, take my money. It's hilarious. So they go back and forth, talking about if they're going to do this. And finally, Ephron, he's like, okay, I got it. Because he doesn't want to disrespect Abraham as well. And it's neat because both guys are trying not to disrespect the other. And it's like, I don't want to disrespect you. No, I don't want to disrespect. It's funny. So Ephron finally goes, hey, what's 400 silver shekels between us? Now, go bury your wife. Take care of your business. So it's cool. So Abraham accepts the offer, and he goes in front of the town council. So it sounds like they do all their business right there. So he does it in front of the council. So everybody knows, hey, cool, we're on the same field. Same. That was an unintentional pun, but either way. So that's how Ephron's field next to Mer, the cave and all the trees within its borders become Abraham's property. And then, the council, they witness the whole. So Abraham then proceeds to bury his wife, Sarah, in the cave that he purchased on that field. What's cool, he goes in a stranger, but he comes out a friend. So really short video for today, but I thought it was a neat story to cover. So next up, Isaac's gonna meet his wife, and that's a wild ride too. But either way, I'm Bionic Leg. This is the Gravel Gospel. Appreciate you.